Now, for for what I like now, the comics that I would recommend people read now are like the new Black Panther. I'm still going through it myself. The new Black Panther, written by Ta-Nehisi Coates, that's good. There is there's a new Captain America called America Chavez. I think it's Miss America. Is it Miss America or Captain America? I think it's Miss America, but it's with America Chavez. Where Captain America is a Latino, is a lesbian Latino woman, and so I'm surprised the LGBT community wasn't hard behind that comic. That was a really good comic. The author, you could tell, was a part of that community, so the LGBT community, because the way the story went, I was like, yeah, it was just. It was obvious to me that the author, the way it was written, it was obvious to me that the author was a gay woman or something. That's not the whole. I'm not holding that against her. It was obvious to me. Like, and I guess you would have to read the comic to see what I'm saying. It's just like a gay woman had to write this, because a straight woman or even a gay man couldn't have wrote this. A gay woman wrote this, and when you read it, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's kind of hard for me to describe, but regardless of that, it is really good. I enjoyed it. I was like, when they said they were ending the comic, I was like, man, that was a really good comic. Like, it was really well written, well drawn. Her story, her powers. Miss America, America Chavez was so good. Oh my goodness, that was so good. So I recommend reading that. These are like recommendations: the new Black Panther, Ta-Nehisi Coates; Miss America, America Chavez; Spider-Man Miles Morales. If you haven't read it, Spider-Man Miles Morales, when Spider-Man's a Black and Latino kid. Now, Into the Spider-Verse has bumped up the hype. I remember back in 2008 when they first announced it, or was it 2006? I think I was in high school when they first announced it. I'm trying to remember. Whenever, like, when they first announced that was going to happen in the comic, I'm like, bruh, I was hyped. And then when I read it, it was really good. There was some hype. I was in a Black nerd group on Facebook, and they were saying, like, yo, for real, like, are we just supporting Miles because, he's a Black character and he's a Black Spider-Man? Like, are we just behind Miles because of that? Because really, I don't even think Miles is all that great. First thing I said was, like, when my man said that in the group, I said, you didn't read the comic. Because read it, you wouldn't have said it. And then he got offended. He was like, what you mean? Like, I think we just were smart. I was like, if you would have read it, you wouldn't have said it. That's what I told him. If you would have read it, you wouldn't have said that. Because Miles Morales' story is really good. Not to spoil anything, I'm gonna say this. He has that struggle of being a genius, of being a Black genius. Like, Miles Morales is really smart. He comes from a middle class family. I think his mother is like a teacher. His father, like, this from Into the Spider-Verse. His father's a cop. He's going through that. I'm a Black genius thing. I feel more comfortable with my people. In the hood, essentially, but I'm actually way smarter. I'm too smart to be here, so I have to go to this school and trying to be accepted there. And he's going through that. Then he's going through the whole fact that, what I'm saying, he gets bestowed with these powers now, and then trying to balance that with his normal life that's already complicated. So there's that struggle. Then filling a great man's shoes. There was a Spider-Man before him that knew what he was doing, essentially, and he has to live up to that. So he's going through that. Then typical teenage stuff that's even though Peter Parker also went through. Then Miles Morales, as he fights the first villain. So I'm spoiling it for y'all. Just let y'all know that's not. I'm gonna tell y'all his first two character arcs. his first character arc, he has to fight his uncle, who's a supervillain, the Prowler. You kind of saw that. You saw this in Spider-Verse. If you saw Spider-Verse, I'm not spoiling anything for you. I'm going to spoil the second thing I'm going to tell you is probably going to be a spoiler. If you saw the Spider-Verse, you already know this. So the second thing that happens is, in fact, his uncle. That's an emotional thing for him to get through because they set it up so like you know that him and his uncle have a good relationship, that you know what I'm saying, that they're close, and that he loves his uncle, but he finds out that his uncle is a criminal, is a supervillain. He has to fight he has his first real character arc is having to get over like, look, I'm having to get over that, like, yo, look, this is my uncle, but he's a criminal and I'm Spider-Man. I'm supposed to stop criminals, stop that. So he has that dilemma going on, whether what he should do, and that ends up being a real good storyline. Then the second thing that happens is he's resolved all that stuff with his uncle. He's walking home, walks to his house. Guess who's at his front door? Venom. Venom is waiting for him. He's like, what the hell? He's like, let's say just a normal day, he had resolved all this stuff with uncle. It had been like a few weeks or whatever. Venom's at his front door. What the fuck Venom's doing at your front door? He has a fight. He gets in a fight with Venom right outside of his house. He's like, and you reading the comment like, yup. Those are the first two things that happen. That's what I tell people. Like, that's when I tell people when they say, when old dude said, oh man, I think we just spoiled Miles because he's black. We're a bunch of black nerds in this group. I'm like, you ain't read the comic, obviously, bro. Ain't no way you would have said that you read the damn comic. So, that's all I got to say on that. Oh yeah, also these are my recommendations. The next one is, I'm going off the top with this. I had some bullet points written down, but this stuff ain't even written down. Next one is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. You're like, what? Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So my next two suggestions are two black girls. So Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Moon Girl is a super smart black girl. She's considered a gifted child, but she's really like a super genius. And she's been acted up in school and in class and even at home because the thing about gifted children sometimes is that if they're not challenged, they're bored. If they're not challenged, they get bored and they start acting out because they're bored. They're not being challenged by academically or intellectually. So that's what she was doing. Like, she was not being challenged intellectually or academically at school. So like, she was acting out. She really had a mouth and an attitude on her, and she just thought she was smarter than everybody, which technically she is. But like, when you're smarter than everybody, you don't have to act like you're smarter than everybody. That's what she was doing. But then again, you have to remember the little girl's only like 8 or 9 in the comics, and then there's something happens where like these guys are in like another universe and they drop like this egg or whatever, and then like it's a multiverse, and then they drop the egg on Earth and she finds it, and then she finds out the egg controls this intergalactic dinosaur. Like, it's weird. It's weird. Like, they never really go in. I think they go, I can't remember right now, they go into like where the dinosaur came from and all that stuff. They go into all that in the comic. But Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, it goes into, it all makes, I'm telling you, when you read the comic, it makes sense. Like, right now I'm not remembering like exactly what happened in the comic, but it all makes sense. And then it's a really good comic. It's a really good comic. My sisters, my black girl representation, it's a really good comic, yo. It's really fun to read. It's funny as hell. It's funny. Oh my goodness, I was laughing so much reading the comic. And then if you're a parent, you probably want to beat this little girl's behind because she's so damn smart, like smart mouth. But it's a really good read. The story is really good. It's funny to read. And then it's interesting how they tie it into the rest of the Marvel Universe. So that's a recommendation too. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Last one I'm going to recommend is the Invincible Iron Man comics. Because in the Invincible Iron Man is when Riri Williams takes over, who's a black girl that becomes who becomes Iron Man, but they call her Ironheart. So she's somebody that, you know, creates her own AI and start creating her own Iron Man suit. And in that story, like, she has a tragic backstory, and then but she's like a super genius that was recognized by Tony Stark, and then you know, Tony Stark, Iron Man, begins to help her, you know, create, like, she wanted to create her own AI, and, you know, Tony Stark has already done that with Jarvis and stuff. So he was trying to you know, he helps her out in this instance, and it's a really good comic to read. It's a comic that I've only probably in like 10 to 15 issues in. Like, there was one day where I was home and I was like really like I was like, man, like, I didn't want to sit around watching TV all day. There was a day where I just kind of had to myself. Didn't really feel like playing video games, or streaming, and didn't feel like just sitting and watching TV. So I was like, what can I do? I could read. So I actually read a book that I was reading, but then I was like, I want to read some comics. And then, you know, got online to a website that I use to read comics, and read like 10, 15 issues of it, and I was good. I meant to go and finish like Devil Dinosaur, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Then I was like, wait, what happened to that Ironheart comic? Like, I never even got a chance to read that. So I read that and I enjoyed it. Oh, honorable mention. I can't even say this honorable mention. This is gonna be another recommendation. I just thought of this off the top of my head. Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. That's a really good comic. That one came up with me by accident. So how I read that comic was I went to my cousin's house and, you know, went to help him out with some computer stuff. You know, I always help him out with computer stuff. So we was hanging out, whatever, and like, I guess he had bought something online, and with it came the first couple of issues of Ms. Marvel, the Ms. Kamala Khan comic book. I guess he had like an issue, like they gave him like the first 5 comics or something like that. So I'm like at his house reading it, and I'm like, yo, this is really good. Like, I was enjoying reading. I was just, you know, I was waiting on him to do something, or he was doing something, and I was reading it, sitting at the table. I'm like, yo, it's a really good comic. Like, people sleeping on this comic, Miss Marvel Kamala Khan, and like, it's a really good. Now that's why I'm glad that she's gonna be in a new Marvel Avengers game. But that's a really good comic. Definitely read Miss Marvel Kamala Khan. That's a real good story. Another brown skinned girl in there, and I appreciate that. But yeah, those are my recommendations for comics. What's up, y'all? Dangerous Voice of People's Choice, live and direct from New York City. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. But I want to say thank you for checking me out. If you want to stay connected with me, my social media is in the description. So go down below in the description, and you'll have all my social medias there. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's all there. Make sure you stay connected with me. I think my Discord is down there too. If not, you can find my Discord on one of my other social media events titles. But thank you for coming through. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you. I love you. Peace.